Back up, back up, back up, Perry. Put it in reverse, Perry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Perry? Oh, Lord. So, yeah, we're live. We're live.
Boom.
Boom. We're
Cool.
live with Jared Martinez from AztecInnovation.com and SamuraiBoabs.com. Don't plural that. I'm just a dumbass. So, what's going on, guys?
It's another hot day in the summer here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I just spent like an hour and a half in a dirty green pool trying to get it clean. Yeah, man. I was in there I was pouring shock in it while I was standing in it, so I've got a nice like chemical burn starting right below my breasts.
Yeah, well, we
I
should
said
kill all
breasts
that.
because I have breasts.
Yep, but the fungus is gone, right?
Yeah, the fungus is all gone, dude. I'm
okay.
good.
Yeah, you open everything up and
Yeah.
move it around a little bit, get it up in there.
Yep.
Toilet bowl
Yeah,
brush,
yeah.
good to go.
Maker Products is watching. Cool.
Richie
Riley's window
Yeah.
cleaning service.
Jay.
His first comment was, "Which one of y'all lactating kraut sissies fucked my cousin?"
Oh boy.
I'm not even
There we
sure
go.
what that means, but all right. Yeah, my stream quality has been automatically lowered because the internet connection was not fast enough. That's great to know. That's great to know.
Cool.
So, what's up, Jared? What's going on with Jared,
Yeah.
man?
Just working, man. Just got back from Seattle. Had a pretty good time out there. Got to meet Manny, Frank Rave, and all the guys. Just chilling. And
So-
just got back.
Where was it that you went? For those that don't know,
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah,
For
Seattle.
what was it for?
Manny has a meetup every year.
Okay.
And he had, I don't know, maybe like 100 window cleaners over there, and Mormon was there. Got to talk to them. IPC, Frank Rave, of course.
Of course.
And he was cruising around all over the place. He's
Cool.
a cool dude, man.
That's
100 window
the
cleaners
general
in one place.
Yeah, the general consensus is that he's cool as shit. So that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's like 6'7" or something, man. The guy is like really tall.
Is he really that tall?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he made me feel short.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1", 6'2", somewhere
Oh,
in
well.
there.
He's still a big dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Mark, anybody's a big dude compared to you, bro.
That's
I'm-
right.
I'm
I
not-
guess so.
I'm not trying to start any shit, but
Yeah, but
you're
let's just get it out of the way. Go ahead.
Let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah, guess what, Jared? Did you know I carry a phone book around to wash windows so I don't have to
Nice.
use a hole on a door.
That's great.
So, Jared, are you
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
a window cleaner or are you just a tool manufacturer?
I was, and then last couple of years, I sold my window cleaning business to kind of finance the Samurai,
Uh-huh.
and because I was a window cleaner. I started cleaning like in 2010, so I'm not nowhere near as experienced as some of you guys. Been doing it since like the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
But the screen washer started taking off, so I had to kind of narrow my focus down, and just do one thing instead of like four things.
That's awesome, though, man. That's awesome. So, to go from an idea, right, in your head, theoretically, to having it physically in your hand, what are some of the challenges that you faced coming up with a product for an industry that doesn't spend more than $20 for a tool?
Oh man. Well, the thing is, I build the tools for myself
Uh-huh.
because when I started cleaning windows, in New Mexico, the best way to clean a screen was just to dry brush it.
Yeah.
But in New Mexico, we got what's called the hantavirus. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that.
Uh-uh.
Basically, these deer mice pee on the dirt, and you breathe that dust in, and 3 days later, you're dead.
Really?
So, yeah, it's pretty scary. It's like flu-like symptoms and then death. There's no middle ground on
Wow.
that thing.
Wow.
So, dry brushing these screens, that was always in the back of my head, and started thinking about it. And, IPC came out with their horizontal one, and I built my own out of PVC and, and then eventually aluminum. And here it is today. I keep refining it, trying to make it better, trying to make it, more
Does it have
more
a
useful.
foot control to shut
No.
the water off yet?
Everybody asks that.
I see everyone. That's why I'm at. Is there? Can you tell me why that's not something that you've added to the screen washer? Can you tell me why?
There's a couple of reasons. One, I want to try to keep it cheap.
Okay.
Because starting out, you're broke. You're trying to get stuff done for the cheapest way possible, and I'm trying to keep the prices down. For a custom foot pedal, it'll add about $100 on the retail side.
Wow.
Because you got to get a custom foot pedal stamped out of stainless.
Right.
Yeah.
And
because you don't want to
use
use cheap plastic, because if you use cheap plastic, it's going to break, and they're going to be warrantying the fuckers all the time. So
and then aluminum's going to wear. It's going to fall apart. And then the bulkhead valves are like $30 a piece OEM. So it adds a lot of money on the end.
Right.
And so I'm just trying to keep the price down. I've got some ideas that I want to play around with this winter when it slows down, but we'll see what happens.
What about is there a possibility to add a deer mite alarm to it, that when you put a screen in there, if there's deer mite urine on there, it's going to go off and send everybody running? Because Lord knows you don't want to die from watching screens.
Yeah.
Mark's still holding out for the attachment to add it to the top of your water fed pole.
Yeah.
That's what he's waiting for. Go ahead.
I thought about making a pouch for it so you can carry it on your hip.
Yeah, that's important. That you should carry a pouch.
I might outsource that to China.
Yeah. No, you don't want to do that. Shit'll fall out and hit the ground.
Well, the only thing China's good for making is spaghetti strainers, so. That's so funny. Oh, man.
So, obviously you're adding, changing around your screen washer to make it, better or improve it, as you say. Is there any other products in the works that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I just came out with a new partition for the Samurai. I'm trying to improve that always.
Okay.
And I've got a buckle designed for it. It's just a matter of getting the money. Because I'm bootstrapped all this. I'm not some big company that has deep pockets or investors or anything. So, I've got to come up with the money and do it myself. So, next thing on deck is going to be that buckle, and that'll probably be this winter or something. And then I also want to come out with a bottle bag for carrying squirt bottles.
Yeah. Now, do you source a lot of your materials local or online? You know what I'm saying? Because, I know making a mold to have anything plastic ejected is big money.
Mark Tanner and the fucking dog pound over there.
Yeah.
Jesus
Well, let me explain
Christ.
something to you before we go too much further. This is TJ's fault. That's his dog that doesn't shut up.
Dude, what?
No manners. He's a fucking Ohio dog.
It's not even my dog, dude. It was
Ohio
never
dogs
my
have
dog.
no
Get
manners.
the fuck out of here.
Hey, oh, no.
What? Yeah.
No.
Your new dog has no manners.
No.
Mark's getting scolded on
Right?
face.
Yeah. You really want to
This
see me
is
get beat up online here? This is not going to be good.
What do you mean? What's this? What's with this topless TJ? I'm not taking my shirt off. I showed you my titties. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. Come on, man. I'm trying to get people to watch this, not turn it off. Come on, guys. Well, I was just wondering about the valve because I see, I am, I'm a wanderer of Facebook and, videos, YouTube videos, YouTube comments, Facebook comments. I wander around and I see people ask questions like, "Why isn't there a foot pedal?" And to me, that was the first thing I thought of is price. It's got to be a price issue because I know personally I wouldn't put a plastic foot pedal on anything that's going to be used regularly. You know what I mean? So it's going to have to be made out of aluminum
Obviously,
or something.
it's got to stay the right side down. If you move the screen washer around, it flips upside down. Then you got to bend down. So the right idea would be, like he said, stainless steel with a base on it. And then God forbid a lizard or something's in the hose and clogs it up, and then ruins the day of screen washing. And no, seriously though, I mean, look, window cleaners can barely figure out how to change a rubber, let alone. You gotta. Sorry, guys.
To me, like James Riley just said, it's not needed. To me, if I'm setting up the Aztec screen washer, I'm banging out a bunch of screens, so I'm probably got a pile of screens right next to me. I'm not going to be needing to shut the water off.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way, like I said, I designed it for me, because the way I do it is, I stack all those screens, I finish the house, and then the screens are what I do at the end. It's like crossing the finish line. So I got them all stacked up, and I clean them all, and then just put them all back. Right. I don't clean them one at a time. It's just too many trips.
Yeah. Well, we have a question in the comments there for you. Does your Samurai have a kickstand?
No, I've thought about it, but it's just another mold.
So that's
maybe
so that's not.
I want one that
doing
walks behind you, like with legs.
They play some theme music while it's walking.
No,
so
you just
so
need
you
to
got your soundtrack.
just stuff it in a roller skate and put a leash around it. You know what I mean? And then you could just drag it behind you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Well, that's the sorbo thing, man. Just put some wheels on the sorbo bucket.
Yeah, that's true. You can do that. You could just tie it to your belt, and then as you're walking, you can pull it behind you.
Yeah.
It's a great idea, man. Great idea.
Yeah, in the valve, I'd like to do one, but like I said, I got to do it in such a way that, well, first off, that it doesn't add a whole lot of money to the retail price, and then second, it's got to be tough, because I designed this thing to be employee proof, and I've had it buried under ladders, under hoses, under all kinds of crap in the back of the van, and it's got to be tough.
Right.
Sure.
And you can drop this thing off on the side of the highway, doing 55, and you're not gonna damage it. You might ding up the legs and stuff, but it'll survive.
Yeah.
So it's got to be tough.
Yeah, I think most window cleaning tool manufacturers need to keep that in mind, because most window cleaners are just gonna. The majority of us are just going to toss their shit in the truck and get on to the next job. You probably organize your truck at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, one of the two. But in between, you're trying to, you're just haphazardly doing your thing as quickly as possible. And if you got something that parts are going to fall off of it for tossing in the back of the truck, that's, it's the right way to do it.
You spend all Sunday cleaning your van, and then by Monday afternoon, it's already trashed. Just cranking out jobs, and you're always going to have that employee that's ready to go home, and then he's got one more house to do. So he gets to the house, he's going to throw that screen washer off the back of the truck and go to work.
Right.
So that's kind of how I designed it.
James Riley from Riley's Window Cleaning Service, or Cleaning Service, whatever, asked Jared about the Sumo. What's the Sumo?
He wanted me to make a gunslinger style bucket, something really big. So, and it's like, I've got my hands full with what I've got.
Sumo. That's great.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I keep hoping Richie's going to just do his own thing, I mean, might as well.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. They got a Bigfoot. A Sumo's not out of the question. What is it? Isn't there like a tidal wave or something, or what is it? A monsoon? The monsoon or something like that.
Yeah.
He's got some weird names for shit. So,
740 pounds of water it holds.
I think you should really explore the. Attachment for your belt to carry it, the screen washer. I think you should come up. I think you should do a holster for that for sure.
Cool.
Jacob Dell would like to know how heavy your screen washer is.
It's about 11 pounds all total.
Really?
It's made out of aluminum, so it's fairly light.
Well, I could tell you this. Speaking of light and awesome fucking Aztec screen washers, I'd like to thank you personally for sending Jonathan Graham that screen washer for the 100th episode. We really appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
pretty
I
big of you
really
to
hope
do
it helps
that.
his business, man.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I really hope it helps his business, because that's the whole goal of this thing.
Yes.
Help you guys.
So, Jared, how long has this screen washer from when you sold the first one until now? How long has it been out in the field?
Well, my prototype was in 2011. I made it out of PVC. It fell apart really quick, so I started looking at other materials, and so I think the first one that was sold was through Rachenstein, and it was in 2012.
Okay.
So
they're still going strong.
Yeah.
And do you physically assemble all these yourself, or is the day in the office you point the finger and say, put these together?
I wish, but no, I assemble them all. And I get the raw metal, I deburr it, I hit it with a grinder, I rivet everything, and then I the only thing I don't do is the welding, because I've got a welder that's just like a genius. I mean, the guy's been welding for like 30 years. I mean, he's super good, super quick, and He did some prototypes for me. I tried out different configurations and stuff, and trying to cut off one of his welds. We got these little angle irons on there, and I cut the welds. It didn't come off. I hit it with a hammer. I cut it some more, and then by the time I got through with it, man, it was all jacked. And it's like, I don't have to worry about the welds.
And aluminum can be tricky. Aluminum can be tricky depending on what's in it. If you buy aluminum that's melted down beer cans, it's not going to weld the same as if it's good quality, and of course, obviously you want to get, like a grade that's not full of, again, beer cans and recycled crap. It just makes it best to try to put it together.
Jared, Jacob Dell would like to know, where can you buy an Aztec screen washer?
Pretty much anywhere. You got WCR, you got Rachenstein, you got ABC, Windows 101. They all carry them. So
you mean multiple American distributors carry Aztec products? That's weird.
Yeah, and even a Beautiful View up in Canada, and even got the guy down in Australia. I mean, we've sent him some. So
nice.
It's all over the place.
That's
the only thing we haven't got to is Europe, because they don't have screens over there.
Right.
But it's kind of cool. It's all the material comes from the United States. I get my metal from Phoenix. I get my brushes and stuff from up in Minnesota, and everything's here. My welder's down the street from me.
That's
like
cool.
Fast Eddie and Scooby over there, they do all my welding. So
nice,
kick ass, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, man, I appreciate that.
Have you ever had an order from a Kiwi in China?
No. I've had some people that wanted one for free that kind of work with him, but I was just I don't need way free stuff at this point.
All right.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to give it.
Jason Lehman says he's had his screen washer for 4 years now, still looks new and going strong. And if Jason Lehman's saying that, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Because
if Jason Lehman has anything that's over 15 minutes old and still looks new,
buy it.
Yeah, must be cool.
Buy it. I've had people that bought some of the original ones from probably like 2012, and everybody asks if they can replace the brushes, and I'm like, leave them, man, because the more those brushes get messed up and frayed and stuff, the better it's going to clean.
Right.
Unless it falls on a hot muffler on a power washing unit or something, melts the brushes, just leave them. Let them get dirty, let them get nasty, and they'll clean even better.
Jacob Dell's going to get with Jersey at WCR and place an order for an Aztec screen washer. Call Jersey right now. Order an Aztec screen washer and a Samurai Boab right now. Get them while they're hot.
For some reason, Jacob, I think you're going to get an instant message in about 4 seconds. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry.
Jersey's on top of it, man.
Jersey's on top of it. He's probably not even watching. Spidey sense is tingling. You know what I mean?
He's already got it in your cart.
Yeah,
he's got the label tape.
Yeah. So I'm not too familiar with the product, Jared. These get powder coated. They're all aluminum color.
Just raw.
They're
just sticker logo.
Just aluminum. Put the sticker on them. So Chris approached me a couple of years ago about putting the Zero brand on it, and I was like, why? And then he sends me a screenshot of his ad on Facebook that got like 70,000 views, and was like, that's a good why.
Did he circle 70,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right here.
The same ad's still going on, and
that's cool, man.
I'll play Candy Crush at night or whatever, when watching a movie or something, and then there's my screen washer that pops up. So I don't know how they're doing that, but they're doing it. So it's like, hey, it's all good,
You
man.
can't beat that,
Nice.
man. You can't beat that. That's focused marketing. What they do
Yeah.
is social
They're
media
good
data
at it.
mines all your internet activity and sees that you watch the Squeegee Life podcast, sees that you go into
Yep.
WCR and say, "Hey guys, I sell screen washers," and then they send
Yep.
ads to you. You know what I mean? That's what they do, man.
Yep.
That shit's kind of
Yeah.
scary, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in Walmart looking at something, and then I get an ad for it on Facebook. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, no, that's good. So screen washer just uses plain water to clean screens. You don't have. Do you soap? Is there a soap? You know,
Yeah,
I mean, would you want to
I
add a
use-
soap injector to the system or no?
Not an injector. I
Yeah.
wouldn't recommend. I've had some people that attached that Unger. They had that Unger soap dispenser thing
Yep.
for waterbed brushes, and they've used that. But
Yeah.
what I do, when I do a house, I got a squirt bottle that I put a little bit of soap in.
Yeah.
And when it comes time to screen, I put a whole lot of soap in it. And
Yeah.
then just squirt the screens and then run through the screen washer, get it nice and sudsy to get the dirt off and
Yep.
get it nice and clean and then do a slow pass to rinse it off and you're good to go.
I mean, just straight water will do it too, right? I mean, you don't need to.
Depends on where you're at. Yeah,
Yeah.
because here, you get the dirt on there, it bakes, and then,
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't think of that.
it's bad. The Midwest, probably not. Unless you're getting like moss and stuff growing on it or something. But in the
Yeah.
Midwest, that dirt bakes on, man.
Right. Big Squeegee. Mike says you could sell more if you slap a white snicker on it.
Hey. Some connicotine on there.
Yeah, woo!
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, not for nothing, but it might be a good idea to market them with if you can get a sign company or to put someone's company logo on it, and sell it to them that way.
Well, that's what I kind of expected people to do on their own because I know James Riley did that. He just went and printed some stickers and put it on his.
Right.
And different people have done that. That's kind of what I expected at the beginning. Because the first ones I sold didn't have a very big sticker on it. They just had like a little sticker on the bottom, and I expected people to go out and get their own stickers because it's awesome advertising, man. I mean, you set that up in the front yard, and the neighbors are gonna slow roll by you and check it out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So put your name on it. That was my original intention.
That's what I told Jonathan Graham, the guy that won the Squeegee Life branded one. I was like, dude, cover that sticker up with with your phone number, dude, or at least put the phone number on the other side. You know what I mean? Shit.
Yeah.
Outlaw Window Cleaner Vlogs. Tim Huber says that you need to put a Bon Jovi sticker on there for the win.
Yeah. Yeah.
No?
Yeah. No.
No?
I was never a big Bon Jovi fan, because I'm not a girl.
Oh,
Unless you're
yeah!
marketing it to San Francisco or Key West.
Fuck it.
Now, Metallica, we could put a Metallica sticker on there, but I'd probably get sued by Lars, so.
Tim
Yeah, there you
is
go.
wishing you nothing but bad thoughts right now for saying that. Bison Skinnerd. That's Mark.
Yeah, no, I was into Bon Jovi like in the 8th grade, and that's about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we miss Tim. Tim doesn't like us anymore, but we still like Tim. It's whatever, though. Whatever, Tim.
Probably just once you mention Bon Jovi, that's the end of the podcast.
That's it. Yeah, he's deep into his CD collection right now. He's listening to all of the Bon Jovi hits right now.
Well, I think that, like many other bands, I think, because I heard on Howard a couple weeks ago, I guess Bon Jovi came out with a new album and they played a couple songs from it. And I'm like, y'all need to just keep touring and selling what you've already made because that just, kind of lost it. It was a very, like a lot of bands, they're dated,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The only one I've kept up with from my childhood was like Iron Maiden, because they still keep putting out good stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
But I kind of gave up
Iron
on
Maiden
Metallica.
fans are fucking. Iron Maiden fans are diehard as fuck, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, Iron Maiden. I got a buddy that's an Iron Maiden fan, and dude is diehard. You know what I mean? Like diehard. Woo! He's got all the Eddie shirts. You know what I mean? He's fucking out there, dude. But he's diehard, man. You can't tell him no different. A Van Halen sticker with David Lee Roth. I agree. Van Halen, not Van Hagar. That is correct, sirs. So where do you reside? If you don't mind, you're in New Mexico, right?
Yeah, Albuquerque. I just tell people Albuquerque. Yeah.
So
because every time I say New Mexico, they hear Mexico. And
and they get all crazy and start shaking and like they're coming across the border. Well, so if you're not, so you're close to you're not close to Area 51. You're close to Roswell.
Yeah, it's like a few hours down the road.
How many aliens
I've never
have you
actually
seen?
been there.
No aliens, no
Illegal.
UFOs. Both.
I've seen a lot of illegal aliens, but not necessarily extraterrestrial.
Not the gray ones, huh?
Yeah, not the grays or the greens or the reptilians.
Everybody's got to go to Home Depot occasionally, so.
Yeah. Yeah, because down on Central, man, you can meet a lot of them.
So you've never seen a UFO in the desert, man? That's disappointing.
Nah.
I thought they were
No.
everywhere out there.
Why would they come to New Mexico?
Maybe they want a screen washer.
Yeah.
They come for the chili and hang out, or what?
Yeah.
That's all we really got here is green chili.
James Riley said the old Mexico is better than the new Mexico.
Yeah. Well, he's in Utah, so you probably can't find us on a map.
Yeah, hey, do you ever run into any of the guys like John Jones or Holly Holm or anything out there where you're at, or no? Because no,
No, we got probably 1 million people in this city, so it's
that's
it's not like it's not like a little village in the north or something.
So do you? You like? That's all right. A little poke at me right there. That's cool. I don't mind it. I do kind of live in a small town.
Yeah, when you're in a small town, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
if you break up with a girl, you're gonna see her at the food mart.
all right. Well, this is my question for you. Do you believe in Bigfoot? Because that's what I want to know. Do you believe in Bigfoot or no?
No.
Man.
That's unequivocal, because you can't tell me that with all the rednecks with guns that somebody doesn't have a Bigfoot stuffed and mounted in their living room. So if Bigfoot existed, somebody's going to have one in their living room.
I'm disappointed that you don't believe. I'm disappointed that you don't believe, but your argument is a sound one. Your argument is a sound one.
Taught her to speak.
Yeah. TJ, you believe anything. Jason, blow me.
Yeah.
I can't believe you don't believe in Bigfoot. How about aliens? Do you believe in aliens?
Depends on what day you talk to me, because I got three views on that, and
Okay.
and I'm open to either of the three. So it depends on what day,
Right.
My background is in engineering, so I've had experience with physics and stuff, and the odds of humans existing is ridiculous.
Right.
So the odds of another intelligent species existing is even more ridiculous.
Right.
So the odds are against it, from a purely science point of view.
Right.
As a Christian, there's, I could say that they're paranormal, that they might be fallen angels. There's a lot of evidences for, quote unquote aliens. The question is what are they?
Right.
Are they actual intelligences, or they could be fallen angels or whatever? And so, I kind of go back and forth, between no and yes.
Okay.
Well,
That's
keep an open mind. You never know what you're going to see. Yep.
How about chupacabra? Yes.
No, never seen
Man,
one. Ghost suckers.
So
I'm a skeptic, man. That's the thing. I'm a Christian, but I'm probably the most skeptical person you could meet.
James Riley says you're a strong believer in the reptilians.
No,
No,
not
that either. Apparently, Jared is a level-headed individual, guys.
Yeah. Oh, my third view on aliens is from C.S. Lewis. He wrote a space trilogy back in the 50s or 60s. And his view, or one of the possibilities, is that, that God created them and that they haven't necessarily fallen. Out of the Silent Planet talks a lot about that. So that's a third view, but I don't really hold to that one. It's just kind of interesting.
Your view on it, the fallen angels thing. I've read some books in my day that some guys kind of draw to that conclusion. You know what I mean? Kind of that same view. So I've read some different theories on it. That's not a bad theory. I mean, I guess it's just as plausible. It's just as plausible as an interdimensional being from another universe traveling here. You know what I mean?
And that's what they would be. Is they would be extra dimensional.
Right.
So if God created angels, then they're not necessarily bound by the four dimensions we live in.
Correct.
And physicists have determined we live in actually up to 10 dimensions.
Right.
So something a little higher order than us, they could definitely appear weird, and the technology available to them would be astronomical.
Even if it
So
is technology, maybe it's just fucking magic, man.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe they have a manipulation. I mean, if you think about it, just me personally, the likelihood of something being able to travel physically through space a long distance quickly enough to not die or anything like it just seems
Yeah.
to me it's more plausible if there is someone or something or angels or whatever it may be, they're traveling here interdimensionally. It has to.
Yeah. Yeah, because space is ridiculously large.
Yes.
I mean, even if you were to go the speed of light, it's still going to take you a long time to get anywhere.
Right.
Much less to explore space. You'd have to talk about wormholes and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Well,
like I said, I'm a skeptic.
Yeah. When's the Squeegee Life hat coming out, dude? That hat that I showed you. I don't know what's up with the dude. I was trying to like a guy that's a window cleaner. He also does embroidery and stuff. He's in some of the groups. Offered to do the hats. That's his rendering. I told him. I don't know. Did he reach out to you, Mark?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
For the flex fit hats.
Okay.
And then I told him the sizes, and I haven't heard back from him yet. So as soon as I do,
he's a little hit and miss. So, that's completely contingent on him.
He hit me up as long as it has the proper logo on it, not something. I want the one that you designed. You know what I'm saying? Because I like that one,
Right.
and it's like, can you get Cracker Jacks, or are you gonna get the store brand? I want Cracker Jacks. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I just like hats, so whatever.
You're a hat guy. See, I like hats too, but I don't wear them enough. See, I don't like to wear them on the podcast because they smush my head and then I get all sweaty and shit because I wear these headphones. And I get all glistening and stuff, and I'm all greasy and whatnot.
I just don't want to blind people with my dome, so
Yeah.
be all shiny.
Right. So what do you? I mean, so is Aztec Innovation? Is that what you do all day, every day, or do you have a full-time job?
Much.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do some web design on the side because that was originally my. I was going to start a web design company, but I decided to go the samurai route instead because we started our business in 2010 and then we moved to Albuquerque in 2014, and just the idea of having employees and training them it just wore me out, just the concept of it. So
yeah,
I wanted to be a one-man show, and with web design you can make a lot of money for not that much work.
Right.
But there's a billion people doing it too.
Yeah. And then but it's just satisfying work.
Pressure washer at that fucking.
Yeah.
Might as well become a pressure washer. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry's a pressure washer.
Yeah. So before we get to the samurai, and I think I mentioned this, you constantly, if you're making a living with the screen washers, either you're selling a hell of a lot of screen washers, or you have a lot of ideas that are going to be put into fruition over the next few years.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I want to keep building stuff and keep making stuff and, eventually turning it into maybe a bigger business,
Yeah.
Because I enjoy making the screen washers, it's growing up, I started welding when I was like 12 and started using oxygen acetylene back, about the same time. So, it's kind of come full circle, where I actually enjoy doing it now.
Yeah.
Instead of back then, it was just, I don't know, I was forced to.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's totally cool. And were you concerned selling your window cleaning business and hoping that this would take a foothold in the window cleaning industry? It's got to be a concern. You're a family man, I assume.
Yeah. No, mainly it's the screen washers have been growing, year by year by year. So that was kind of our baseline. And then the samurai is above and beyond that. And I'm still, I still want to improve the samurai. It'll take a little while to get the investment back and everything, but
of course,
I think once we come out with the bucket, it'll be a really solid product. And I've got some other ideas for it.
It's definitely over the past year, it's definitely shown that it was the more well manufactured product.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, I design products for me. So my idea was I just got tired of a wet leg, especially in the wintertime.
Of
We
course.
used to clean windows up in Durango, and it didn't get that cold, not like Ohio or Iowa cold, but it would get down below zero,
Hmm.
and then having wet leg in the middle of winter just sucked.
Yeah.
So and then you start getting rashes in the summertime, from the water
Yeah.
and the soap and everything. So that was, like I said, I designed it for me, and hopefully people like it. That's kind of my thing, is I'm always happy when people like something I designed.
I'm gonna be
Sure.
honest with you. If there was no such thing as a gunslinger or the tip jar from Richie Blue, the prototype that I got, if I would have bought that starting out, the Samurai starting out, I'd be using it right now. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah,
better than any plastic bucket on the market. Better than any of them. I
yeah,
don't.
and
It's
it's
better
all
than
it's
any
all
of
good.
them.
Everybody's got their favorites. I mean,
Right.
Richie designed the product for the way he does things,
Exactly.
and there's going to be people who do that.
Right.
So it's me and Richie were talking last year. And you know we were on friendly terms when all this stuff, all the drama was going down, and it's like, huh, that's weird.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Richie,
Because we were just
Richie,
kind
like
of hanging
you,
out.
yeah, Richie, like you, was kind of not indifferent to the whole situation. He's like, yeah, whatever, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He was,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever, man. You know what I mean? That's just his personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He doesn't really feed into it too much. Unfortunately, you know, Perry's pretty good at that stuff. So,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, and I just don't know how you could live your whole life just with negative campaigns. I mean, it just seems kind of a rough way to live. Especially if you can't, just say good things about other people. So
Yep.
you occasionally just wash your insides out with bleach, just to get every
Yeah.
once in a while.
is that when you change your pants?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
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 We're total douchebags. So,
Yeah.
what I want to know is are you prepared at all, Mark, for
Yes.
for the 5 or 10 minutes that we talked about?
Yes, I
You
can
are
be
prepared.
prepared in about 10 seconds
All right.
because there's some honorable mentions in here, and some guys worked really hard to help us out with
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah, I've been getting I've been getting a daily update on Jacob Williams lately. Fucking
oh,
Mark
Jacob
Tanner, man. He's just like, dude, this fucking guy.
Jacob Williams most likely has gone through several pairs of underpants since we started this because he
He
sent me.
likes cheese. He loves cheese.
Oh yeah,
Oh boy.
definitely loves cheese.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's actually, we always said send in a fart and we'll judge it, and the fart of the week gets a sticker or whatever
Yeah.
we have. And we were so inundated with farts that from Jacob, I'm like, dude, this guy is a one-man band.
He's
here,
definitely getting a sticker.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
He
you
definitely
you
is
get
on top of it.
yeah, Jacob Williams. Send me your address and I will send you one free sticker for all your work. You've been inundating Mark for 2 weeks with farts, and you're gonna get a
Yes.
sticker for it.
Well, why don't we just do this? Because there's so many of them, I'll just play them as you guys have a nice conversation. And if one stands out and you want to hear it again, just let me know.
Is
Yeah.
But actually, the fart of the week, what we're trying to say is Jacob Williams owns the fart of the last 2 weeks. Just so
Yes.
everybody knows. So before anybody asks about the fart of the week and who won, Jacob Williams won.
Oh, yeah. Jacob Williams. Yeah.
Is the winner.
I almost think Jacob Williams might have had to be hospitalized after a few days of this because I can tell you he probably had trouble sitting down because these were just nonstop. I mean, I got sometimes 4 and 5 in 2 minutes, and I'm like, oh boy, the floodgates have opened.
Jared, are you going to the huge convention?
Yep. I've got a booth right behind WCR,
Oh,
so
you've got a booth.
it'll be
Shoot.
it'll be my first booth. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. Probably just hang out and talk to people, I guess.
If I were you, I would put up a diorama of the crash of Roswell and then really pull them in.
So sell little alien figurines.
Chris Johnson, I just quit my job to start my own business. Send me some good fart vibes. Yo, Chris Johnson, your T-shirt's on its way, my man. It should be there Friday or Saturday. I 2-dayed it to you, man. Hashtag Poo Slacks. Ryan King asks, "Where's Tim?" Tim is no longer doing the podcast until further notice. We kicked his ass off of here. Fuck Mark. Fuck him. Right, Mark?
Yes.
No, Tim is just
My fault.
Tim's just too busy. He's trying to focus on other things right now, and the podcast was taken away from that. So, that another reason why we've slacked back to just one a week. You know, you'll still get an episode of Sunday because we've been gone for 2 weeks, so we'll double down for you. But you know, the Sunday thing is going to be it's going to be kind of a regular thing. Now, when the winter comes, you know, like Mark said, in the winter we're not doing a whole bunch. It's a little bit slower, so we'll probably get you the 2 episodes a week like we used to. You know what I mean? But this time of year, it's really, 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 really hard to do 2 podcasts. It's tough. It's really tough.
Definitely. Yeah. And you know what? We want to keep them fresh. We want to keep it, you know, in the positive direction. And like I said, you know, this obviously is a Wednesday podcast because it worked out better for all of us, you know. And so,
Right.
and Jared said Wednesday's better for me than Sunday. So,
Right.
you know, nothing's in stone.
I can tell you this right now, man. I'm sure eventually we'll have Tim back for. I mean, it may be just for a little while. I know, you know, but when he gets some time and he gets his, you know, what he when he gets all his ducks in a row and he feels like it's a good time for him to come back, Tim is, you know, we did 100 episodes with Tim. This is the Squeegee Life podcast by Outlaw Window Cleaner. You know, we're still all buddies, you know, but Tim's a busy dude. He's got, as everyone knows, 1 million kids and a lot of work to do. So, you know, eventually I'm sure we'll see Tim again. Chris Johnson, man, hey, good luck on your window cleaning business, man. If you need anything, man, just let me know, dude. I got a bunch of extra shit laying around. If you need something to help you out, man, just let me know, buddy. Mark, you never sent me the rub. Riley's cleaning service. James Riley says you owe him barbecue rub, Mark Tanner.
Did he send me his number? I got so many people asking for.
Yeah. If you legitimately won a bottle of rub, James Riley, reach out to Mark Tanner. He'll take care of it.
Yeah, I think James.
If you guys are just looking for free shit, fuck off.
Yeah, no, I think I promised James some rub. And I just been swamped this week. It's been so hot. I come home dead tired.
Yeah, but James Riley, if he won a bottle of rub, it was on the 100th episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Or he answered a question during one of the other podcasts.
I'm going to mix up a big old batch because I want to send some to you, T.
Yeah,
because I know you're running low.
You fucking owe me. I gave you a fucking dog.
I'm never going to hear the end of that dog.
Dude, I drove all the way to North Carolina and back in one day to give you a fucking dog, dude.
That's
19
true.
hours I was on the road to give this dude a dog. Hope you appreciate that, Mark. Mark, stop with the farts already.
Listen, this is honorable mentions.
Are those all Jacob?
That's all Jacob,
Dude,
man.
he's a...
Dang, you guys need to send him a sticker and a roll of paper, man.
Yeah, I told you, man.
I'm going to send him a sticker and 24 pack of toilet papers, man.
Yeah, he needs some wet wipes or something to cool that thing down.
And a membership to the Cheese of the Month Club.
Yeah. So no, but honestly, I think James sent me his information, and honestly, it slipped through the cracks. No pun intended.
You get it to him.
I'm gonna make up a big giant batch of rub
Riley
this weekend.
Won't shut the fuck up about it if you don't. It'll be one other thing he don't like us for. They never sent me my fucking rub. Those guys are douchebags.
Yeah. Well, I know Jason Lehman's gonna get some, and I want to send some to you, and what about you, Jared? Do you barbecue? Do you smoke meat?
Yeah, I got a smoker for my birthday, and I want to start using it. So I need some guidance on how to do that.
All you got to do is ask me. Fuck Mark. He don't know shit.
Hey,
No.
Sounds really cool, man. Yeah, I was watching videos, so I wanted to start with some brisket and stuff. So
Oh man,
No,
I
it
tell
is.
you, Mark,
Yeah.
if you follow those simple instructions like that, the brisket of destiny video, if you follow those instructions, I mean, you might not do a Mark Tanner level brisket the first time out, but it'll be more than edible, man,
Yeah.
nice.
for sure, without
That's all that
question.
counts.
Yeah,
Well, the
there-
one thing you'll learn, and I learned this early on, because if you're cooking something for 12 to 14 hours and it's not edible, that sucks.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So I give
My
you the basics, and you do what you want to it. But if you follow these basic rules, you can change your profile for your flavors and everything.
right.
But how to get it tender and everything, my method seems to work pretty
I
well.
can
Yeah,
tell you.
because I had
Go ahead. No,
I
you
had
go
one
ahead.
client, and we would he had a big and tall store, and he'd always paint his windows.
Mhm.
So one year, I removed the paint for him, didn't charge him, and he got me a brisket for Thanksgiving, and that was awesome. That was better than
Yeah.
turkey.
Yeah.
So-
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Listen,
Brisket's good when it's done right.
I can tell you this right now. There's two firsts I've done, and they turned out way better than I ever imagined, and they were completely gone. The first time was last Thanksgiving. I made a brisket. I've never wanted to buy a brisket because they're expensive as shit, and I'm like, I'm going to have to cook this for 16 hours, and it's going to fucking suck, and I'm going to be pissed. And
Yeah.
Mark's like, no, 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 no. Just follow these instructions. And this was before the podcast and all this stuff. He laid it all out on the line for me. And then finally I worked up the nerve. I'm like, you know what? I'm throwing all the chips on the table. It's been 2 years of Mark goading me into it. I've been messing with ribs this whole time. I'm gonna buy a brisket and I'm gonna smoke it for Thanksgiving. And it turned out pretty goddamn awesome. It was really good.
Nice.
And then the second time, first time I ever did a pork butt, a picnic roast, whatever you want to call it, a pork butt, was a couple of weeks ago. Followed Mark's instructions, and it didn't even make it to. I wasn't even able to shred the whole thing because people, when I pulled it out of the smoker, people were sticking their fingers in it like this and grab it and pinching. You could pull it apart with your fingers. It was so tender.
Yeah.
It tasted so damn good. I pulled out. I pulled it apart with my bear claws in the pan, and I walked out the door. People were standing there with a loaf of bread, and 2 pieces of bread, and people were just like. And I walked down the deck in front of the camper, and everybody made a sandwich, and it was gone. I would say 5 minutes tops. It was gone. Mark knows how my family is. They know how we eat.
They can eat. The good thing about pork butts, you usually get 2 wrapped up in the same package.
Dude, but it doesn't matter with my people.
Yeah.
You know that.
No. There's some eaters there.
Yeah,
you know?
we like to eat. We're not. Believe it or not, I'm probably one of, besides my dad and my mom. I mean, well, my dad, we're probably the biggest guys. Everyone else is kind of,
dude.
trim.
The
They
skinny
just
people
eat.
in his family eat. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh my God.
everyone
And
eats,
then,
dude.
Yeah, and then it's round 2. So
Yeah.
if you feed them at 6 o'clock at night, better have more food for 9:30 because round 2 comes around, and it's like 6 o'clock never happened.
Mark Tanner
Man.
made like a dozen. He made like a dozen chicken pieces.
Chicken thighs, yeah.
Chicken thighs. He put them in the kitchen. He walked to the grill, put them in the kitchen, walked back out to get, I think, what else? Ribs. Walked out, got the ribs, came back, all the chicken was gone. In the time
I
it
never
took
got to try it. Yeah.
from the time it took him to go get the ribs and put them on a plate and bring them inside, the chicken was gone. Same thing
There
with the
was
ribs.
at least
The
a
ribs
dozen. I think it was at least a dozen.
Yeah.
Richie was my backup. I think we had at least a dozen thighs, and I was like, because chicken takes 3.5 hours generally, and I put them out there because you could see people were wanting to eat, and I was using a smoker I've never used, so I'm trying to get
And
things up to
still,
temperature.
Jared, and
Yeah.
Still killed it.
Yeah, yeah,
Still,
it was,
dude, I'm
fun.
telling you this right now, Jared. I've never been anywhere in this country or gone to a restaurant and had food that good ever. Ever.
Nice.
My family is still talking about this man's cooking. I can't even. Everyone used to rave about my food. Every time I smoke meat now, I got to hear it from my aunts, my my old lady, everybody. Maybe we should call Mark. Maybe we should call Mark. It's good, but it's not as good as Mark's. Fuck off, dude. Son of a bitch.
Well,
man.
you know what? When I went out to Texas, I have to say I had some very good barbecue. I mean, better than anything you're going to get here in Florida,
Of course.
bar none. Real barbecue,
Right.
you know, and obviously in Kansas City we had some good barbecue. But when you really enjoy doing it and feeding people like you do, what happens is, and my wife will tell you this, she goes, you pretty much ruin barbecue for me because we have to make it now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like if you could make such a hamburger that no one else could duplicate, you wouldn't go out for hamburgers anymore.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I don't even bother ordering food anywhere. When we went to BB's, I was surprised about the food. Because I was like, man, I hate going anywhere and ordering barbecue because it normally sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And BB's was really good. BB's was really good. And
Yeah.
Mark's food was better than that. Mark can fucking smoke meat, guys. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing.
It's fun.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. So, you know.
It's just like anything, man. You become a professional at it, and then everybody expects that.
Right.
Because know, it's like how many window cleaners clean their own windows. You know,
I ain't
we
cleaned my
don't.
windows in 2 years, dude.
I clean the living room windows, and it's like, oh man, she wants me to clean that, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife does that too. My wife will go to my truck, grab the bucket. She knows to put the 18 and smaller inch tools in it, and then she knows within 5 minutes I'm going to take it away from her because it annoys me. And she just sits there and smiles. I bite every time. She's like, you could probably do the whole house in a half hour. And I'm like, I'm just enjoying watching you fuck these windows up, and then I'll come back and fix them. 400 blue rags.
Right. Yeah, dude. I usually what I do is I do the front. There's 4 windows in the front. Those 5 windows in the front of the house, and next to the door there's the 3 windows, and then the 2 in front of the driveway. Those are the only ones I do. Because the rest of them I have storms on, and I don't like storms. I'm not taking those apart. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have many storms here. I had one customer that had storm windows here, but they were really easy to take out. And then up north, we had some that were just nightmares.
Right.
I mean, some of them were even just like siliconed in together.
Yeah,
and
dude,
it's like,
I hate them. I hate them.
So,
Dude, when I bid storm window jobs, like, dude, it's like the most outlandish price ever. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I'll do like a normal high storm window job bid and like sometimes almost double it because I don't want to do it. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
is that your best? Is that your best price? Yes, that is my best price because I do not want to do that shit.
Yeah, that's like Pella's, man. They got those designer series, and then like I did this one house. He wanted a bid, so I go out there and I just come up with a ridiculous price. I mean, like $20 a window or something. I mean, it was, they were casements. They're supposed to be easy, and I just kept adding and adding and adding, and then when I give him the price, he's like, okay, when can you do it? And I'm like, oh crap, I didn't go high enough. Turns out he was the lawyer for the Patriots, the chief lawyer.
Oh, come on!
Yeah.
You should have hit him hard. You should have hit him hard, dude. You should have chopped his head.
Deflated price.
Oh, Kevin's watching. Hey, Kevin, the window cleaner says you look bored, Jared. Sorry, man. We're not very engaging, man. We're not very engaging, Kevin.
Kevin's a cool dude, man.
Kevin,
he's a
you
good
probably
guy.
Jared. I think maybe Kevin could have probably done a better job on this interview. I'm just throwing that out. I'm just tossing that out there.
Yeah, I'm a boring guy, man. That's why I do memes. I ain't got nothing real to say.
Hey, I will tell you this: if you don't know, Jared's meme game is strong as fuck, dude.
Oh yeah,
very strong. Like his meme game is strong. Well, you sent me a few that I'm like, dude, yeah, you probably shouldn't post that one. Yeah, is this one going too far? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. It's funny though.
Yeah, I send a lot of stuff to Mike because he doesn't Mike Nichols. He doesn't get offended, so we can go low, and I don't have to worry about getting in trouble.
Right.
Until
Ryan
Heisler.
Hey, Ryan Heisler says, as a Jets fan, you couldn't have charged that son of a bitch enough. The Patriots lawyer. Dude, that's great. I will tell you guys this right now. I can't tell you guys who it is straight away, but there's a professional football coach that owes me $175 and won't pay me. That's legitimate. A legitimate pro football head coach owes me $175 and won't pay me.
Wow.
He lives on the island here in Lake Erie. I did his house. It's a nice log cabin. Owes me $175 for an exterior only and will not pay me. Will not pay me.
Wow.
I've had to get to the point now. I've given him long enough to where I'm conversing with his wife, and at first it didn't hit me, and then I kept seeing the last name, and I'm like, man, I know that name for sure. And then she called him by his first name, and I'm like, dude, no way. So I started looking into it, and sure enough, this dude, he's a coordinator or like a defensive coach, or he works for, and no, not Hugh Jackson, but close, Jacob. Close, but not him. This dude owes me $175 and will not pay me.
Wow.
Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. He's still in the NFL right now. Still, and owes me $175, dude. Come on, man. She keeps saying, I'm sorry, we forgot to send the check. And then I was like, I'm going to give him 30 days. And then I sent her another email, and I said, listen, this is my second attempt to collect. The next invoice, I'm charging you a late fee, and every 30 days afterwards, I'm tacking money onto it. And once it gets to the point where I can litigate $500, I'm just going to put a lien on your house.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care.
That is the worst part.
That sucks,
of
dude.
Any business, because it's every business. Like my buddy said to me, what do you hate the most about your business? I said chasing money. I said
yes.
I watched my father get sick chasing money in the window.
Yes.
No lie. And
work, that $25 job can turn into $1,000 right away. You start stacking those bills, and it gets out of control really quick.
Well, right now I just got an email before we started the podcast that really, really pissed me off. I'm waiting on $3,800 worth of fucking money right now that's been over 90 days. I sent him an email. I'm like, listen, which I'm cool with the 90 days. I get it. Most places is 90 days. You got to wait. And I'm okay with that. But once we start getting into 100 plus days and you still ain't paid me, there's a problem there. And this is a very big customer of mine. I've had him since 2006. They had one of these national companies take over, like a Nest or, a facilities management company. They took over, and now it's a hassle getting checks every fucking time. And she reaches out to me, and she's like, sends me another round of $3,800 worth of fucking invoices, and I'm like, listen, or work orders. I'm like, listen, I'm not doing shit till you pay me my money. So finally, after waiting for a week for her to get a hold of me, she tells me, can you send me the invoice numbers and work order numbers of what you're missing? So now I've got to do that again. After I've already sent this shit to you, now I got to take more time out of my day to send this shit to you again. Son of a bitch.
I used to do Pier 1 imports. You guys have Pier 1 imports.
Yes.
Right? And they used to pay out of the store. It was once a month. Outside, touch up the inside, babe. Collect your money. And then all of a sudden,
everyone say hi to Jennifer.
Says, hey, Jen. All of a sudden, the manager comes to me and says, we can't do payouts. It was like $75 a month. And you can't do payouts for more than $50. So unless you're willing to lower your price to $50, it's going to go through corporate. And I go, that's going to be the end of this. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, because here's what happens. I'm going to send them an insurance certificate, a W-9. I'm going to send them all the pricing. I'm going to send them an invoice, and then I'm not going to get paid. I said, but we'll run it as long as we can, because I've been cleaning for you for 5 years. I had 7 locations, only kept 1. And I still have that one because they pay every single month.
Right.
Every other one of them, it's a fight to get paid. And you know what? I don't feel bad when someone else is washing it. Let him have it.
Yeah.
Seth Byers, the sexiest man in window cleaning, decided to fucking grace us with his presence. Dude,
where's Seth been?
Yeah, being a loser. Dude, I don't even know what to do, man. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to do about that situation. It's such, that's every 3 months I'm getting, that's what, 4 times a year. That's $3,800. That's a lot of money. And it doesn't take me a lot of time. You know what I mean? It's a really easy job.
People don't think about, and it doesn't matter if you're a one-man band or you got 5 employees, your customers can cripple you.
Yeah, man. It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Totally fucking sucks, man. Totally sucks.
Yeah, because I had a mattress company. I was doing 7 locations, and they started playing that stuff. And eventually, I got it to the lawyer, and they tried to get him to pay and everything else. And eventually, I just went and talked to the guys, like, man, I need a credit card. And he just gave me a credit card, and I got paid. And then after that, It's just like, I'm not dealing with you guys anymore.
Dude,
So,
I got a quick story, and no story is quick with me. That's gonna blow your mind. I did work for a furniture store, right? The first invoice was like $700. They paid in 30 days, no problem. Then they called me up and said, "We've got this stain on the third floor. It needs a lift. You got to run the lift through the store." So we get there at 4 o'clock in the morning. They move all this furniture. We literally push the lift through the store, okay, to reach 35, 40 feet, and they had this issue with it's a new store, and something was leaching out on the concrete. So they were told if you sprayed vinegar on it and pressure washed it, it would come off. So I said, well, I have zero experience with using vinegar, okay, but if that's what you want, that's what we'll do, and it's going to cost you $500. They said, no problem, go ahead and do it. We get there early in the morning, push the lift out there, bring the machines, run them through the store. And this is a very high-end furniture store. The fact that they let me push a lift on tires through the store blew my mind. However, we do the job. It takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We get out of there before, they opened and send out the invoice. It's been 7 months, right? Now, within this 7 months, they contracted me to do 4 times a year cleaning. They gave me the contract for 4 times a year cleaning on the windows and once a year rinse down the building for pressure washing, right? They approved the price. Then they said, we need to know the schedule. I said, well, I got to tell you this. You guys owe me $500 for several months now. The bucket don't come out of the truck until you're current. At that point, we'll start new. I want to work with you. I want the account. I go, you paid me the first time. Now you're not paying me. All of a sudden, I get a call from a maintenance company, right, that says, we've taken over all of their locations, so you're going to have to work through us. Okay, so I qualify as a vendor to work through them. They said, send me the price. I jacked the price by $300 to cleaning because I'm like, I don't even want to work with them. I'm going to fight to get paid from a cleaning company that's out of state.
Right.
Okay. And I don't understand why the furniture company, and the cleaning company is putting 10 or 15% on top of my price. So now they're going to pay 30% more, and it all gets approved. Everything's approved with the price increase. So then the cleaning company is like, well, when are you going to do the job? We're waiting for you. I said, well, I still haven't got my $500. Well, that has nothing to do with us. I said, no. That's not the way this is going to work. Okay. To this day, my wife is still fighting to get paid. We still haven't.
wow.
See, these guys. See, I'm not. I mean, I do get my money, but it's just a fucking hassle every single time, dude. I send the invoices. They're like, we never got the invoices. I mean, what do you mean? They're like, can you send us? Can you send? We don't have an email. You don't have an email?
Yeah.
They're like, we can't open these emails. I'm like, it's a fucking PDF. What the fuck, dude? What kind of Go ahead.
That was one of the biggest lessons I learned was, I had a janitorial guy, a guy who owned a janitorial company, and, we were friends. And trying to get paid with him, it's like, these guys are not your friends. Yeah. No matter how, you guys can go out and have a drink or whatever, after hours, but when it comes to business, they're not your friends. Get everything in writing, and especially construction cleans. You're doing a big old construction clean on a 4-story building, and you got to wait 120 days to get paid.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't mind the wait if I know about it up front.
Yeah.
On a construction cleaning, because they have to wait till all their stuff is done so they can get paid.
Right.
But I had a janitorial service that I worked with for over 10 years, and it was a nice account for me. I used to get about $3,500 a month every month from them, doing most of the time the same thing and then a couple extras. Well, over a period of 10 years, they ran a $15,000 tab. So finally, I was like, I'm cutting your throat. So not only did they refuse to pay my bills, but they brought in another window cleaner and started soliciting all the buildings that I cleaned that they were in, meaning they did the janitorial, I did the windows, which they didn't bring me in there. I had them on my own. That's how I met them. Long story short, what he didn't realize is, once the bills hit, once he owed about $5,000, I got a signature, a 2-part form on my company letterhead of every job we did, signed off by the manager, and it's print your name and signature, and it says specifically, this is not an invoice, however, your signature approves the work was done to your satisfaction. My attorney called him, and he says, tell Mark I'll send him 10 G's, and we'll call it quits. And I was bent because he brought in other window cleaners on buildings, you know what I'm saying? So I go, no, that's not acceptable. I've already done the work. So my attorney told him, well, what you don't know is and I'll send you some copies so you can understand. Mark has a signature for $15,000 worth of invoices that you owe him. He says, we don't have a contract. He goes, he's got 10 years of QuickBooks saying you've paid him every month, but never paid him in full. That's why you owe 15 grand. So you have a choice. And so then you're either going to pay or we're going to sue you, and you're going to pay the lawyer fees. He realized he was backed into a corner, and he said, tell him I'll give him, over the next 3 months, $5,000 in a bank check wired to the attorney for 3 months. And that's how I finally got paid. And then he called me like a year later. You want to come work together? I'm like, bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. I can tell you this. I'm at the point now. I've had to do it once before, but I'm just gonna go to the property, the maintenance guy for all of these banks. I'm just gonna go to him again, and I'm just gonna listen, Mike. I'm not getting paid, dude, because he's gonna call me here in a couple weeks and be like, hey Terry, when are we gonna schedule these cleanings? And I'm gonna just be like, Mike, I'm not getting paid. And he will call them and be like, what the fuck is going on? Because I had to jump through a shitload of fucking hoops to continue cleaning these windows for you. Mike was like, I've been working with Terry for almost 10 years now. I have no problem letting him in the bank in the morning. I don't have to stand over his shoulder. I know he's not going to try to rob the place or steal nothing. He knows the property, and his prices are great. You know what I mean? And, we have a good relationship. I want Terry to continue to do the windows in this transition. So I had to... I already carry $3 million worth of insurance as a window cleaner. You know what I mean? Then I had to get another $1 million policy on my truck just to park my truck in the fucking parking lot.
Yeah, I've had that before. That's ridiculous.
I do
like you're hauling people around like a taxi.
It doesn't matter that I've got full coverage on my truck. Full coverage. I always carry full coverage. That doesn't matter. You have to carry extra full coverage. You know what I mean? Like, you guys... Come on, man.
It's funny, some of the hoops they want you to jump through, because we did this one mall up in Durango, and before we could go clean the windows, we had to go upstairs and sign in like a regular contractor,
right?
And then go down and clean the windows. So we had to sign in every time we went there, and it's like, this isn't worth it for a $20 job.
Yeah, dude.
You're taking a 20-minute job and turned it into 2 hours.
I had a couple of finish lines that were in malls, and the mall here in my town, you cannot be on the floor after 9:30. You cannot. Cannot be on the floor, impeding traffic for guests. So I'm doing these finish lines, and every single time I'm there, they don't get there until 15 minutes after.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm like, I'm getting bitched at by the mall guy, the head of the mall, and I'm like, dude, listen. So finally, I was just like, I'm not doing no more. This national company reaches out to me, Nest reaches out to me, and they're like, hey, why aren't you doing these? And I'm like, listen, man, the managers won't let me into the store to do it in time. I can't be on the floor after 9:30. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
So this lady called me and cussed me out. She's like, you have a nice life, you son of a bitch, over a $25 window cleaning. Yeah. And I'm like, I was like, I'm not. It's not that I don't want to do them, but you got to understand that there's obligations that I have to meet, and if you can't have a manager meet me on time, what do you want me to do?
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, we had a nice route inside one of the malls. We had like 4 or 5 locations in there, so it was really nice. Especially when it was raining, you just walk in, start doing it. The only thing is, man, I don't know what those kids are eating in those malls, but it's like super glue on the windows. And then especially the shoe stores had a lot of lint everywhere.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? I have one mall. I have probably 30 accounts in there, and it's a night. I hate cleaning in there because you just mentioned it, lint. Okay, I'd rather clean dirt off an outside mall store. That lint, you carry that, it just dries your mouth right out.
What? Yeah,
and I never understood where it came from.
I don't care what anyone says, but there is no window nastier or harder to clean than inside a McDonald's Playland. I don't give a shit what nobody says.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody says about it. Every time I do McDonald's once a week, and there's 2 of them that have Playlands, and every single time I'm there, it takes me 45 minutes to clean the fucking Playland. every
Yep.
time. No matter what, even if there's two of us, it still
Yep.
takes us 30 fucking minutes to do the
Yeah.
just the playland. It's a
Yeah.
Yeah,
pain in
I
the
had all the
ass.
Panda. I had all the Panda Expresses, and they've got that orange chicken,
Oh,
and they
shit.
put that on the windows, and it bakes in the sun.
Yep.
Oh man, because I finished this location,
Yeah.
and then right at 10:01, there was a little girl in there with her orange chicken on the window, going like this, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I already cleaned that one. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I got the signature.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I'll see you next
Yeah.
week.
That's great. That's
I
always
used to
good.
I used to do a bunch of Burger Kings, and there was one of them that always had where they do the pickle race. Two people throw pickles on the window and see who hits the ground first, and they dry and stick to the window, and they just leave them there. They'd be there like the size of a dime. A pickle that was a silver dollar size is the size of a dime. I'm like, you guys did come by and knock that off? It's disgusting.
Well, what drove me nuts was we had this one location in Durango, and women would walk by the doors. It was a brewery. They'd walk by the windows, and then they would kiss the windows with that waterproof lipstick.
Yeah.
So you'd finish the window, you'd finish the job, and then when you're heading to the truck, you see those lipstick prints everywhere.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we've talked a lot about window cleaning and all that stuff, but we've got some questions in there. Some guys would like to know: is there what's new or coming up with the Samurai? What's going on with the Samurai? Are you are there new things? I heard you just say that you are you're doing a new insert for it, correct? Is that
Yeah,
still like
yeah.
in the testing phases?
yeah, I've kind of released it out. The buckets will now ship with this new insert. I designed it not to nick rubber, but the first set of inserts nicked rubber. Depending on
shit.
how you had your squeegee in there.
Uh-huh.
And that just made me nuts because that was one of my criteria.
Right.
Wet leg first, no nicking rubber,
Right.
and then a nicked rubber. So I spent like close to 8 months. I went through like 5 or 6 designs, different things, trying different things, and finally just made it as simple as possible and just trying to get the squeegees to fit better. Make them lock in and prevent any rubber nicking. That just drove me nuts.
Yeah.
And then the next thing on deck will be the buckle. I spent the last year trying to design a good buckle, and I've got it down from 5 pieces down to 2 pieces, and it'll be adjustable. You can lock it.
That was my only knock on it. Besides, I
Yeah.
was being a dick, but
You-
no, but that was really.
Jared.
I mean, the I think once you sort that the buckle thing, like I said,
not for nothing, Jared, but I think
it works as advertised.
I think that the buckle or the belt, where it goes to the belt, obviously it's a buckle, needs more footprint to stabilize the bucket on a belt, because I've seen them swinging around. They hang a little low, but if it had more footprint,
Oh, I see
Well,
what
what
you're
I
saying.
want to do with the buckle is it'll be made out of acetal, which is what normal buckles are made out of, the plastic buckles. So it's going to be super, super strong, and I've made it a lot thicker than what's normally on a buckle.
Yeah.
And it'll have 3 positions. And one of the things that Manny brought up, Manny's kind of short, and he wanted the bucket to ride right on his belt. He didn't want it to be down a little bit. He wanted it right on the belt. So that's one of the positions is you flip the buckle upside down and you just snap your bucket on it.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
right on your belt. And so it won't move. It'll be locked. And then the other 2 positions is it'll hang down just a little bit, about
Yeah.
3 inches, which is more comfortable for me, because I've got
You're a
the
taller guy,
build. But I need it down a little bit.
right?
So it'll snap in, it'll rotate, or you could lock it into
But
position.
you gotta have that down a little bit so it gets under that layer, because I got that layer too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Layer,
You gotta
you know?
get that shit underneath there. You gotta reach around a little bit. You know what I mean?
But I wanted it to be able to lock so that when you're using large tools, it's not swinging.
Of course.
You can just lock it into position. And then I wanted the option where it could also swing. So, a different position that allow it to just swing
Nice.
freely. Because when you're hopping in and out of booths, that thing's got to move,
Right.
Yeah.
or else you're not gonna have a good time.
No, you'd be
Well-
cleaning up the floor.
It's either that
Yeah.
or you could just get a under 0 degree handle and not ever go in a booth ever again the rest of your life, like I do.
I could never use those, man.
No.
I just
can't-
could
listen,
not
Me
use them.
neither.
I'm fat, and I don't like going in and out of booths because I'm fat. Because my belly rubs on shit, and I don't like it when my belly rubs on shit. Because when my belly rubs on shit, that means my shirt's gonna get pulled up. Then you're gonna see the bottom of my belly. I don't like that. So I got really good at not going into booze with my 0 degree. They want the sumo real bad, dude. These guys really want the sumo. Henry said if you if his samurai insert nicks his rubber, he's gonna chop it in half with a fucking axe. Did you see that video, Mark? Mark, did you see that?
Yeah, it's
crazy
pretty
bastard,
frightening.
man. Yeah,
You know,
so crazy, dude.
Yeah, I meant to send you a message. Did you see Henry's new video?
Yeah,
Holy
he's
cow!
so hilarious, man.
Well, that's kind of I just kind of laugh because I mean they buy it, they can do whatever they want with it. If they
Right.
want to chop it up, let them do it.
They're not.
So,
I'm only playing. He didn't say that. He actually likes it. Do you sent Henry a new insert for his samurai, correct? Or a samurai?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
yeah.
That's cool, man. So
Yeah.
is that it? Is that all that's going on in Aztec Land? No more news you could drop on us here. Does anyone have any questions for Jared?
I do want to come out with a squirt bottle holder because nobody has those anymore. Unger stopped making them, and the only one on the market's that Mormon one with the bag.
Right.
Because for me, man, a squirt bottle was that I had to have it. It totally changed my game when I started using squirt bottles.
I can tell you what, right now, I've been fingering around with one. Not a big one. I got a small one I've been carrying. It's about that tall and about that big around. And I've, just enough, maybe holds like 12 ounces of water. You're not very big. Yeah. And, I've been, it's supposed to be for soap. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use this. I'm just going to put soapy water in it. And you know what? I can definitely see the benefit. I don't get the whole pump sprayer, spray the window kind of thing like Philip does and some other guys do. I don't get that. But a squirt bottle to keep your mop wet, to keep going, it's definitely something.
And for me, you go into a fast food restaurant, you need more soap, to cut through the grease. Then you go to a house, you need less soap, so just put it in your bottle, and you have the exact amount of soap you need.
Right. Makes sense. Definitely makes sense.
Because like up in Durango, when you're cleaning windows in Durango with the tourist season, you're not going to drag a bucket out of there because all the parking spaces are done. There's a million people on the streets. It's a pain in the butt to clean up in there.
That was a Squeegee honorable mention, by the way.
Big Squeegee would like to know what's a good menudo recipe.
I don't do menudo.
He doesn't do it.
No, my grandpa raised sheep. He always had sheep. That was his main staple. So I could butcher a sheep when I was like 7, and one year he had me clean that sheep stomach, and I'll never eat menudo after that.
So that's what menudo is. I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I've never.
Sheep stomach, and it's basically chili made out of sheep stomach. So.
Philip Alexander, go buy some EBC and use hot water. That's what I do. Usually what I do is spray some EBC on it and then agitate it with a brush and then spray a little bit more on there and let it sit for a little while, and then I hot water pressure wash that shit off of there. That's usually how I do it, man. He's got oil on cement he can't get up without a shadow.
Well, people have to understand I'm not a pressure washer guy like a lot of these guys are way into it. But
concrete is a porous
Concrete
material.
is porous. It soaks in. So even though you get in the surface, you're still going to have that underlying layer.
Oh, so Superior Services says that Jared is making Backflip Boys edition tools. Are they gonna be pink and have dildos you land on, or no?
Yeah, I've got a pink bucket, so I can just put sparkles on it.
Yeah.
Stickers.
They don't want a kickstand. They want a unicorn horn. You dig?
A My Little Pony edition.
Yeah.
Some glitter. They can actually do that in the injection molding. They can put glitter and all kinds of stuff into it. But
dude, I bought this chemical to clean some generator enclosures that were powder coated and they had environmental issues, like cleaning gutters, but nothing would clean these powder coated white generators. And my buddy gave me some dragon juice. So I ordered a 5-gallon pail of dragon juice, and now on the second cleaning of these generator enclosures, I went through the last of the 5-gallon, and one of my guys picked up the bucket and there was something rattling around in the bucket. Okay. So we look in the bucket and I jumped back, dude. It looked like a vicious lizard. Well, it turns out in the bucket of dragon juice, they put a plastic dragon. I mean, the thing is this big in the bucket before they seal the lid. I mean, it's cool as hell looking. It's a real badass dragon they put in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, what is the sumo? Is this a joke, or is that a product you're putting?
A joke. Yeah, James and Jacob, they wanted me to make a like a gunslinger kind of a thing.
Yeah.
They call it the sumo. And I had given it some thought, but it's just like, I'm not good at dealing with material like that, And
it's a huge, look, building one of those, no matter who's doing it, it's a huge challenge. You're taking fabric and you're trying to make it waterproof. I mean, so you're it's definitely a challenge. Yeah,
and you can do stuff with thermal welding and stuff like that, but it's still a pain in the butt. It's a really intensive process.
Well, yeah, and then you have to look at the investment, like you said, is the end game going to be worth the investment to actually make it with thermal welding and stuff?
They wanted me to call it the sumo, but I was just going to call it the Anoha. Hey, that looks like a gunslinger. Anoha. So it's the Anoha bucket.
Yeah, that's so good, dude. Does anyone have any questions for Jared? In the audience, anyone have any questions for Jared? Anything you'd like to know about Jared that maybe he may or may not be willing to tell you? Am I wearing a wife beater? Yes, I guess. I get it's a tank top. It doesn't.
Yeah, there goes Jacob with the safety green. I am going to experiment with a safety yellow, which is sort of a green, but he really wants me to do a safety green.
Will you get a free copy of the safety dance with each purchase of the Samurai safety colors? Or no?
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Yeah, it depends on if I can work out that deal.
Can you get a white snake sticker with it too, or no?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody makes those anymore. Do they?
Right.
White snakes still around?
I don't know. Probably not.
I doubt it. Yeah.
I know a guy that does stickers though, so I mean, I could get you some if you're looking for white snake stickers. Just hit me up.
Yeah. So what do we want to bring back? The war vests of the '80s, where you got to have like your wasps.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, for sure, man. That's. I can't believe nobody's got any fucking questions for Jared. How's the Splatoon going?
Yeah, that's James. That's the only video game I play anymore. It's a stupid video game that Nintendo Switch came out with, where you're like a little squid and you shoot each other and everything. And it's really addictive.
Hey, Kevin wants to know when you guys are going to Blake's.
I don't know. We can do that next week. Cause he's got a real good Blake's down there where he works, and it's actually fresh.
Can I get an alligator skin samurai?
Yeah.
Now they can sort of do a camo, but we really haven't played around with that because they have different processes they could do, and one of them was a camo. That would be kind of cool, but I don't know how it would look. It'd probably look kind of muddy.
Can't you do like a, what do they call that? Hydro dip them? Can't you hydro dip them?
Yeah, hydro dip them because Window Joe did that last year. And he had an American flag one that was just awesome.
That'd be fucking cool as shit.
I don't know how long that stuff lasts, though. Yeah. Does it last?
It depends. Because the guy who was doing it for Window Joe, he actually, after they dipped him, he would actually put a clear coat of paint on it.
Yeah.
So it seemed like it might be pretty durable.
Yeah.
But it's still plastic, so it's still got to move and stuff.
Yeah, and it's soft. It can scratch and stuff.
It can easily scratch.
Yeah. So Jared, what are some of your hobbies other than designing tools? What do you like to do? What is a weekend like for you, Jared?
Splatoon and more Splatoon, apparently.
No. I only play that at night, when I got a little bit of free time or early in the morning. But no, I'm just kind of boring, We're planning a camping trip here pretty soon, and we'll go out in the mountains and go camping. But
nice.
Camping in a tent or camping in a camper?
Tent.
There you go.
Man after my own heart.
Yep.
I love tent camping. Jennifer wants nothing to do with it. I can't.
Well, I'll tell you what, T. If you ever come down here to visit, we'll go to our camp, and I'll be happy to put a tent on the ground while we sit in the AC.
Yeah. In Florida with the alligators? Screw that, man.
Yep.
Everybody keeps wanting me to ask you about fish.
Well, Why? Who's that? Jacob?
Jacob,
wants it.
James, a few people have asked.
No, that's how I got into window cleaning. Was I bought a franchise,
Did
and
you?
it was, yeah, and it was good in the sense that it taught me how to do a business.
Mm.
You know, how to organize it with employees, and you know, and how to, I don't know, how to basically organize it to where you're not on the glass all the time,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but you can get the same info out of like the book, The E-Myth.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, save some money by the E-Myth.
You don't have to answer anything, but I want to ask you a couple questions. We've been waiting to get a franchise owner on here, and they never come on.
Yeah.
My question to you is, and never mind the low prices that everybody bitches about, or the unqualified workers that are spraying foam on windows and wiping them with a rag. Let's leave all that aside.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible, honestly? Because, like, see, where I come from, if you put up 40 G's, you got $4,000 a month worth of route work. So the first 30 days is the struggle. After that, you got revenue. You understand that.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, the fact that you have to have a physical office, okay, and they realistically are training you to run the business and not wash windows, which window cleaning, in my opinion, has come up to a nice way for a guy to make a living, possibly with a helper and whatnot. Is it possible to make a living with all that overhead plus given, 5-6% back?
It's possible, but the question is what are you going to end up with at the end?
Yeah.
And that was what got me, because, you know, even after 3 years, I was fairly comfortable. You know, I had 3 employees. We were making good money, and even in a small area where we were at. And, you know, but yeah, the overhead is really harsh on you, you know, between the fees and everything else, the royalties and everything else you got to pay. You can make a living off of it. But the issue is after your 10 years are up, what are you left with?
Yeah.
You have to renew your contract at the end of 10 years, or else the only recourse is you have to close down shop, move 50 miles out of your territory and start over. Really? And that's what kind of got me, because I talked to a guy in Phoenix who had just renewed, and that was his issue. Was, you know, he had worked his tail off for 10 years, and he had to renew. And that's what he told me. He says, "I'm too young to retire. I can't sell it for what to retire on. I'm too old to start over."
Does the new renew mean you have to give him like another 40 G's?
No, basically you're in the system for another. No, I don't think there's a fee associated with it, but, you know, you're signing up for like another 10 years or whatever, and they have the right to raise your royalties. Because like with him, you know, he had signed on 10 years before me, so his royalty rate was a lot lower. Yeah. But when he renewed, it went way up, you know, to be, you know, the same as everybody else's.
So
you know.
So let me ask you a question. Another one. How do they control what they take? Do you pay the corporation and the corporate, you know, the fish, you know, corporate, and then they say to you, Jared, you did this much this month, so here's your money minus our 6% or whatever it is, or do you collect checks?
No, they have software that you run it through, and it's not bad software, but the customer factor has a lot more functionality to it, and
I love the customer
you know, and that
factor.
Basically it just comes right off the top. And that was the harsh part, was, you know, having royalties and everything taken off the top.
Not to interrupt you or anything, but if anybody from that represents the customer factor is watching, if you want a tattooed bald-headed guy that cusses a lot to represent your product, I'm your man.
There you go.
I've been using the customer factor when there was I think there was maybe 5 to 10 people using it. I mean, we've been using it since its inception.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of function in that, man.
Yeah, it's
super
incredible. Awesome. Yeah, it's super. It's probably not as intuitive as some, because, you know, you got to do a little looking and trying to get it to do what it needs. But there's a lot of things there that it's a very, very useful program for window cleaners. Very useful, and pressure washers for that matter.
So, Jared, when you're done with fish, what happens? Do they sell your franchise and you get some of your money back, or do you walk away? What's the deal?
No, it's pretty much your business. And so, when I was getting ready to close mine, I actually had it sold, and there was a guy who wanted to buy it and everything else, until he started talking to corporate, and then they wanted him to buy the initial package again. They wanted him to buy all this other stuff. So, the price we agreed on was now $20,000 more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, screw that. I'm just going to shut it down, and you're going to lose all the royalties.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the frustrating thing, was they could have had somebody in there, because the equipment I had was a lot better than what was in the initial package.
Yeah.
I didn't buy the cheap stuff. I had the nice stuff.
Yeah.
And that was just really frustrating to me, because I had it sold, and the guy just wanted it as an investment, and it would have ran on its own, because I had my employees trained where, they did good jobs, and I didn't have to babysit them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of funny, because a lot of people look at the franchise window cleaners as, bucket bobs almost, that, you see the videos where the guy can't clean a window. My guys could clean a window, and we were getting top dollar. So I was legitimate competition against, whoever.
A local guy, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, whoever you wanted to put me up with. The only difference was I looked a lot more professional.
Yeah.
Because the way I trained my guys, the way we did work, we did it,
Yeah, but that comes with a big price. You can still run that same business without handing half of it away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's the way you ran your franchise.
Yeah, that was on me. That had nothing to do with anything they brought to the table. That's just how I do business.
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
C3D Solutions is asking, are there any improvements coming to the screen cleaner?
Not right away. Probably this winter. I was actually looking at a way of doing a foot pedal without going through the investment of, the cast iron valves and stamped stainless foot pedals. So I've got an idea on that. I want to play with it. Like I said, I've got a garage full of prototypes that I just cut on and change and modify and everything, and just trying to make it better. Because I spent the last 7 years trying to think of a better way to do the legs. And they're as simple as they're going to get. They're as cheap as they're going to get. So I just decided to leave the legs alone. But the valve thing, I'd like to work on the valve. Just a couple more things on that.
Just because people keep asking about it, I bet.
Yeah. And if I can make it easy and cheap to add, then I'll do it. But if it's going to be expensive, then I can always add it as an add-on to my website that you could purchase. If it really bothers you.
Yeah.
But like I said, when I turn the screen washer on, I'm not turning it off until I'm done. I don't do one or two screens. I did them all.
Yeah.
So
right.
I never understood the value of a valve, period.
Yeah.
If it's a foot pedal, that means you have to be standing there. And it does shut off, obviously, when you take your foot off the pedal, but you're a lot less mobile, if you got to constantly walk back and step on a foot pedal.
Yeah.
So, but some people would want that, I guess. Maybe make it as an option that will plug into it. And
and that was kind of my thought, was to add it on the website where, if they really want a foot pedal, here it is on the website, and you could just retrofit it to your unit.
Sprayer. Should put a pump sprayer on there.
Put a pump sprayer. Can I put a pump spray on it? How about a soap dispenser?
I've been pump spraying before pest control came around.
Pump sprayer. Philip Alexander wants to know if he can sell your screen washer.
Sure. He can. Did he fix his website?
Yeah. I've been seeing periodic updates of his website. It's actually he's actually got a professional on it trying to fix it up. I had a screen washer once. His name was Jimmy.
I'll tell you what, I'm not a residential guy, but I did my share of residentials in my time to make my rent and everything. And I got to say that the worst part of the job is, like you said, you finish washing all the windows, then you look over and there's a giant pile of screens. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like crossing the finish line. You can see the ribbon there. As soon as the screens are done, you can go home, or go to the next job.
I must be a strange bird, because I always do the screens first.
Get them out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always do because so they dry. So when I put them back on the window, there's nothing snaps onto the glass. That's just me.
One time I was doing a house with my old man, and he's like, I was working in the front of the house. He's like, give me all the screens. I'll take them out back and wash them. So we used to just take strip washer and soap them up and rinse them down. And I'm like, I walk back there, and he's got a whole giant pile of them already done. And I'm like, man, how did you get those done so fast? And he's like, oh, I know what I'm doing, right? So I come back around to bring him more screens, and I watch. He's soaping them up, and he's dipping them in their swimming pool.
Are you serious?
This cleans them up.
That's so
I
fucking
do
funny.
shit like that all the time.
That's
So the swimming pool's all bubbly after you then.
Listen,
Yeah,
man, this is what I want to know. We've done a lot of talking about your screen washer and your samurai boab, but what I want to know is this: are either one of those tools going to help me invade Area 51? Is that
Man.
okay?
Yeah, if we can come up with a pouch for the screen washer so you can carry it on your hip, you can take that into battle
Give
with
me
you.
something to hang it on my shoulder.
Yeah.
You know.
There you go.
Like a rocket.
Yeah, because you
launcher.
can swing it. You could use it as a blunt weapon. I mean, it'll survive. You know.
I think that Area 51 thing is a joke, right? Because I'm going to tell you this: it's a military installation, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't care how many of you approach that place. Not a good idea.
Listen, it's not going to stop me from going, dude. All this shit that you keep saying, everybody's like, it's not real. I'm going.
Yep.
I want you guys to know, as stupid as I am, there are people who are going to show up that day. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's
They
going to be a
probably
thing.
will.
That's
Yeah.
probably going to be one of the largest social media events to ever happen. You know what I'm saying? No
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
There are that many stupid fucking people out there for that to happen. There's no way it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you really thought that they had all this extraterrestrial technology, then why wouldn't it be like a Independence Day kind of a thing? You know, where everybody's holding their signs and everything, and all of a sudden this beam comes down and just wipes them all out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
I don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know
Like
what
there was
happened.
a flashlight and then everybody's gone. What
Yeah,
happened?
I don't know what happened. Well, nothing happened. They don't have anything. According to Bob Lazar, there's nothing stored at Area 51 anyways.
It's at Wright-Patterson.
No, it's not at Wright-Patterson either.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Dude,
it is.
just because
that
your
was
brother's
about-
in the Air
right?
Force and you think you know shit, Mark,
I know,
doesn't mean you
okay.
know shit. Mark don't know shit.
I told you the story, dude.
Yeah, you told us the same story everyone else tells us. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to go in there. Yeah, we know you're not allowed to go in there.
You're
That's
not
'cause
allowed to
they're-
go into any Air Force installation.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're the same everywhere. Listen, it's at S4. It's not at Area 51. S4, like Bob Lazar said, is where they keep all the alien technology.
Yeah, that was the guy off Joe Rogan, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that was a cool interview. You know, it's kind of hard to tell if he's a nutbar or just somebody that's.
Well, that's
playing
the-
the card.
You
That's-
know what?
I don't know.
Anyway around it, he's brilliant. When you hear him talk and you start
Yeah.
to listen to him, he's a smart guy.
Yeah, he's smart.
Yeah, and anyone that can put a rocket on a bike and not die is a pretty smart dude in my book.
Yeah.
But on top of all of that, he's actually taken lie detector tests and shit, and he's passed them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I could he have seen alien technology? Yeah. Is it more likely that he saw prototype or aircraft and stuff from the Nazis or something? Who knows? Chinese
Yeah.
who knows? You know what I mean?
Is it just a coincidence that we went from prop-driven planes that fly 400 miles an hour to the SR-71 practically overnight?
Yeah. No.
That's,
Who
that's
knows?
That's what fascinated me was you went from biplanes dropping bombs in World War I to
Yes.
now you got bombers and you got fighters and
We
everything
got
else.
they went to the Blackbird, which is still one of the fastest planes that we've ever built.
Mhm.
That had stealth technology back then.
Well, one of my favorite movies is The Right Stuff. You guys know the movie I'm talking about, where they go from Gus. What's his name? Who's the guy that I feel like a dick for not knowing? The guy that kept breaking the sound barrier. What the hell is that guy's name?
Chuck something.
Chuck Yeager. They go from
Yeager.
Chuck Yeager, the test pilot, all the way up into the Apollo missions, right? No, or the Mercury missions, not the Apollo. It's the Mercury missions. Dude, they're testing shit that and maybe who knows if they still are now or not. But there's stuff out there that they're doing that if you seen a stealth bomber 20 years ago and flying through the sky, you'd think it was a fucking UFO. Come on, let's be honest. Of course.
Yeah.
But it's still subject to the laws of physics because some of the stuff that they're saying, doing right angles at these speeds, 16,000 miles an hour with no sonic boom, that's some weird stuff that some of these people have recorded. So
Yeah, to me, the pilot testimony and shit like that. Unfortunately, anyone that says anything, like if Mark's brother gets out of the Air Force and is like, "Hey, man, I seen this or this or this," he's probably never gonna fucking fly again.
Well, unfortunately, my brother's
You know what
going
I'm
right from
saying?
the Air Force to American Airlines, so he's not going to say anything because he's
That's what
not
I'm
going to
saying.
get his.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one story real quick. There's only like 10 stealth bomber pilots in the world. There's 10 men that are qualified, and I met he's a colonel. And my brother said, I want to introduce this guy to you. We were at one of the races, and I shook his hand, and he sat down with my kids and just started talking. And my brother says, "You know who that is?" And I go, "No, not really." He goes, He's one of 10 stealth bomber pilots in the world." And I was talking to him. He said, the computer flies that plane. That plane would be like throwing a dart without without feathers on the back.
Yeah.
It doesn't fly. It's the computers that keep that thing up in the air like that, and it's amazing technology.
Yeah, because my first job out of college was working for Raytheon, and over there in Greenville they had their own airport and everything, where they would test all kinds of stuff. And right before I started, the guys were telling me about the bombers that were there, the stealth bombers. And he said those wings were so sharp that they had to put like guards on them, because if you accidentally walk in there, just chop your head off, because they're just so sharp.
Yeah.
No shit.
Like,
no shit.
just
For real?
Away. Yeah, they're like razor edge on the end of those things.
No,
and you
see,
accidentally
I
walk
never
into
knew
one,
that.
you're gonna die.
No shit. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Who knows what kind of technology they've got. They're trying to kill people without people knowing they're killing people, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's called stealth for a reason. The real question is, why would your government shoot you for crossing their fence? It's not their fence, it's our fence. Big Squeegee. Lie detector doesn't factor into mental illness. If you believe it, it might not be a lie to you. I agree with that, but I'll raise you this. Bob Lazar said that there was this element. What is it? Element 154?
Yeah, something like that.
Like way back in the early 80s, he was talking about it runs on this, and now that's part of the periodical tables or some shit. So, just so everybody's aware. Yeah. Something that he had mentioned, something that everyone's like, "Oh, that's science fiction," is now reality. So you never know. You never know. I think
what fascinated me about that was, he was talking about these objects like the sphere that had no, that was just seamless, that there was nothing to tie into. And it's like, okay, that's really weird, to have something like that.
Like, oh, you mean the ship? As far as like you were inside of it, there was nowhere to sit or not. It was
he had that. He said something. What was it about the sphere that they would test, and that they would turn it on, and then they would run tests on it, but there's like they couldn't get inside it to figure out what it was.
That's crazy, dude. I don't know. It's all weird to me. And that's just all the more reason to storm Area 51, guys.
Yeah. You guys need to get over there.
We need to get over there. We need to group up. Make sure you're going Facebook Live so we can watch it. And
I think we should get Mark Darnell to lead the whole pack. Get Mark Darnell and his bowling pin.
Jesus.
Nice.
That's great, man.
No, it'll be interesting if they actually go out there, just to see the reaction, because
but it's just gonna get shut.
Social media is such it's a shit show, man. It's seriously, it's crazy how much of a shit show social media is. If it's not Donald Trump and that fucking crazy Democrat lady from fucking New York, it going back and forth, it's storming Area 51. It's crazy, man. We live in the Matrix, man. We live in the Matrix. Do I believe in hoverboards or the jackalope? Neither, James. I believe in neither the hoverboard or the jackalope. Neither. Chris Riker has been anal probed by aliens on this podcast. That is correct.
Yeah. We were all witness to that one.
We are all witness to that. He's still super mad about his huge convention ticket. He says I'm holding out on him.
See, that's the other thing I don't understand is, why is it always anal probing? That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. This from guys that record farts, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's because a lot of people said they were probed.
Probed, and
For,
it's
yeah.
automatically going to go to anally probed. It's
Yeah,
automatically.
the
That's
one
just
thing I say about the abduction thing is, do you ever notice it's generally some form of, I hate to say this, but some form of white trash that lives in the trailer park? And then,
well, we
yeah,
were out back, and I was kissing my
yeah,
cousin. And when we
yeah.
stood up, we saw a light. And then I was anally probed. I woke up the next morning, my butthole was sore, and I had a sore
It was
throat.
all greasy back there.
I had a greasy butthole, and my throat was sore.
Now, what if the aliens are actually Sasquatches inside the
Dude,
discs?
see,
Well,
that's what
discussed
There
apparently
you
that,
go.
yeah.
we've discussed that. I think that's what it is, man. I think that's why you don't find Bigfoot bones is because they're interdimensional time travelers that have cool ass spaceships.
So would they still be Sasquatches or would they be Wookiees?
I'm going with Wookiee because I'm a Star Wars fan. So
Yeah, that's a lot cooler than Squatching.
definitely. Roswell is
But then
200
I would also-
miles from Jared, and that's pretty tempting for Richie Blue.
There you go, man. There's not much to see there other than the whole alien thing, but
That's why Jacob Williams' ass is so fucked up. Man, the people that watch this podcast, man, jeez, oh Pete's, dude.
that would be cool if somebody put a Squeegee Life sticker on the fence or put a squeegee there and took some pictures.
Yeah, that'd be sweet,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, man.
Of course, it might be a picture like on Terminator where it's just a bunch of skeletons, hanging onto the
They
fence.
should put it- yeah, I know. I've seen those signs that say authorized use of deadly force. Cover that part up so that when everybody gets there, they go beyond the gate.
Yeah, dude.
Just authorized use.
Yeah.
Dude, unfortunately, I'm gonna tell you guys, people are gonna get murked, man. People are gonna get murked out there. I don't know if somebody's gonna get shot, but people are gonna get detained really hard if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
are gonna get detained really hard. I'm actually worried for our country because of all of this stuff, the storm Area 51, the all the political dissent. I'm actually worried because if the orange guy wins again in 2020, man, it's gonna be absolute fucking bedlam. It's gonna be bedlam.
Yeah. Well,
You know what I mean?
we'll just
These Antifa dudes are gonna be bear spraying everybody in the face.
Antifa dude got killed today or yesterday, right? I mean,
Dude,
that guy was trying to blow shit up.
Listen, man.
Yeah, he was trying to firebomb an ICE detention center or something.
Yeah,
I think
I
they
mean-
just arrested him. I don't think they killed him, did they?
No, he got killed. Yeah,
Listen,
they gave him
there's-
all. Yeah,
I'm all for questioning your government, questioning the man. You know what I mean? I'm a libertarian. I'm all about small government. I'm not into big government. You know what I mean? I get all that stuff, but you got to do that shit with. There's right way and a wrong way to do that. The Constitution, if you fucking fucktards would read it, allows you and grants you the ability to protest. You know what I mean? You've got that ability. Just don't, you don't have the ability to be a piece of shit and try to kill people. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe they killed this Antifa guy. All he was trying to do was firebomb those mean ICE guys.
yeah.
Come
he's like,
on, man. Come
Well, that's what
on.
Joe Rogan was talking about the other day. He's like, they keep escalating this stuff with the bear spray and all that other stuff. Pretty soon, the right wingers are going to get pissed off, and they've got a lot of bullets. They got over.
yeah.
Why
10
would
rounds
you?
of
Yeah.
bullets.
Why would
Somebody's
you want to
gonna attack.
drag? Why would you want to drag guys like T. Squeegee out of the closet with his AR-15? Why would you want that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you want that? Why would you? And a lot of these guys and gals that are out here masked up, and like Joe Rogan said, a lot of these guys that are masked up and doing these things have no idea how to do violence. They do violence, and then when it's returned on them, you see it all the time. Dudes getting knocked stone cold the fuck out.
They
all the
fall
time.
like rocks.
Like because they have
Dude,
no
it's hard
idea
to-
what they're doing. They throw
Yeah.
rocks, they hit you
Yeah.
from behind with a bat, they spray you. You're going to run across the wrong guy and get knocked stone
Well,
dead
dude,
in the street.
If you think about it like
Yeah.
this, you think you're kicking anyone's ass in skinny jeans with a mochato fucking venti frappuccino in your fucking hand? It's not gonna happen, man.
Ooh, Craig says, how about the nanobot technology that can be used as weapons? Believable or unbelievable?
I don't believe that. Those
I
little
believe it.
drones.
I believe it.
Yeah.
It's
Those
believable.
little
Believe
tiny
it.
drones. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
believable.
Yep.
That's believable.
No, dude. You just go out with a tennis racket and knock all those
Listen,
little
bro.
fuckers
No,
out
no,
of there.
no. It's a nanobot, not a microbot, you retard.
Yeah. You're like hitting a gnat.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Dude, I think that's very plausible, man.
Oh yeah. But that's the thing, man. I don't have any guns. I lost them all in a boating accident. So
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
That
So
AR-15 I was talking about, I don't even know what happened to it. I think I lost it.
yeah, you probably lost that one. I know it.
Definitely lost that one.
There
Definitely
you go.
lost that one.
Nanobots are kind of a cool idea. So, I think that's doable.
Let's see here. America looks fine from way over here.
Yeah, because London, man, everybody's getting stabbed over there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, they ain't got guns over there, so everybody's safe.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, dude, it's just like Australia. I told you, my buddy from Australia came over here. We did glass restoration technologies together. He shows up at my house. It was planned. And the first thing I asked him, I said, let me ask you something. They took away your guns. They bought the guns. They melted the guns. And everybody says that the crime is way down. He goes, murder with a gun is way down. He goes, but now the criminals know you don't have weapons, so they just break into your house. He goes, strong-armed rape and robbery is through the roof because you're not waiting on the other side of the door with a weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, with anything with guns, knives, not guns, not knives, no matter what, there's going to be there's going to be extenuating circumstances for everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's going to be douchebags that have guns, and there's going to be good people that own guns. You can't take away all privileges from everyone just because of a few bad apples. You know what I'm saying? You just can't do that.
That's the thing, man. You
can't do
you
that.
walk into your garage and it's full of tools, and every tool is a weapon depending on how you use it.
Exactly
Completely
right.
agree.
If you don't have a gun,
roll
you
up
got a
on
machete.
roll up on Squeegee at a red light and see if that fucking 16-inch long crescent wrench is a weapon or not.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I'll fucking
like the whole
knock
martial
all
art
your
thing,
teeth out with that.
like the whole martial art thing. Every single one of those was a farm implement, like the nunchucks.
Yeah.
They use that to beat wheat,
Right.
for in their fields and stuff. So it's like, if you're a farmer, you got a garage full of weapons.
Right, exactly. Or a mechanic, like I said, 16-inch long crescent wrench. You don't want to taste that.
Dude, anything can be a weapon. Anything
you
can
don't
be a
wanna
weapon.
taste it.
You know what, Jared?
I'll shove that. Yeah, screen washers
should
weapon.
require a background check because
Yeah,
if you
weapon.
haul off and smack somebody with that thing,
My trad 20, I'll shove that right up your ass after I beat you senseless with it. I'll turn you into a popsicle.
You got a 6-inch razor on in your truck. So I mean,
Yeah, those things are lethal weapons.
yeah, especially when the cover falls off.
yeah.
Well, Jared, I got to tell you, man, it was very nice having you on. I appreciate you staying the whole 2 hours with us. Where can people go and check out Aztec Gears? Where do they go?
Yeah, AztecInnovation.com or any of their favorite distributors. SamuraiBoab.com. Just hit me up on Facebook. I'm always chatting with people, so
Awesome.
I enjoy chatting and trying to help them in their business.
There's just something I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around. Is that like all U.S. distributors carry your products?
Not all of them.
Almost,
the
though?
big ones do. Yeah,
The big ones do. Oh.
Yeah.
I know some guys that have a lot of. There's a company that has a lot of trouble getting distributors here in the U.S. I was just wondering if there's like.
Yeah, but see the difference is I want distributors.
Yeah.
I'm not trying. I can't even imagine trying to sell it on your own in your own website and trying to maintain that and ship stuff out and do marketing and everything else. And that's how distributors make their money. I sell it to them and they sell it to you and they do all the work. I build the stuff and then they go out and market it and they ship it and they everything else and.
Right.
There's
a lot of good partnerships to be had. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm sure that's very good for your business because you're not having to spend the extra money to advertise and, they're the ones to sell the damn things for you. They want to sell them. Like, listen, I'm buying these. I want to sell them. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
and I'm not good at marketing. I mean, somebody asks me, I'll give them something. I give things away for free, so that's why I need distributors.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Free from one,
Right.
because I like helping people, but it's easy to get in a hole really quick.
Right. For sure, man. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Squeegee Life podcast with old Mark Tanner and T Squeege and Jared Martinez. I'm not asking James Riley. I'm not asking him why. I'm not asking him about the pole holder on the belt, dude. 'Cause I think that's I think that's the worst
Yeah,
thing
the
ever.
screen washer holder first, and then the pole holder.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking, Jared, you might want to run with this, and all I want is 10%. Listen to this. You listening to me? Be paying
Sure.
attention. Ladder on a belt, right? Ladder on a belt.
Yeah.
You could walk
Now, that would be
around.
handy.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Are
Why
you gonna
not?
come out with a water-fed pole brush, dude?
I don't know why. Everybody
Why
and their
not?
dog has a new brush. So.
Listen, if you come out with a water-fed pole brush, then you can make a holder for it, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I could
listen.
design the holder first and then the brush.
We need Aztec Innovations gooseneck holders so you can carry every gooseneck you own. We need Squeegee channel holders so you can carry every channel you own. So you don't want to go back to the truck ever again.
No, never.
Never.
Yeah.
I leave my truck and walk 72 miles a day.
Yes,
But I never have to go back to the
I need
truck.
to make sure that I can carry my 18-inch brush and my 12-inch brush on me
Yeah.
at all times. I cannot.
Well, and I was thinking I need a holder for the Samurai too.
Yeah.
So screen washer on one side, Samurai on the other.
Yes.
Have
Well,
holders for.
I'm kind of
Jared,
thinking that
yes.
kickstand
Jared,
thing is
Jared is
patented,
definitely picking up what I'm putting down. You definitely need a holder for the Samurai, dude. You got to make
But
a
if you're
holder
gonna
for it.
if you're gonna carry your ladders, you got to carry them in front of you, so that way you can just run straight up.
Exactly. Extended. Leave them extended.
Dude, this guy's a
Why not?
fucking genius, man. Why did we wait so long to have you on the podcast?
Holy shit.
Well, guys, it's been absolutely fun. We will see you Sunday. Thanks again to Jared for coming on.
Yeah,
being a good
Jared,
sport.
thanks for coming
Thank
on.
you
for
very
having
much,
me.
Jared. And we will
It's been fun.
we will see you guys Sunday. Peace.
Peace.
Right on.
Later.
Back up, Perry. Put it in reverse, Perry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Perry? Oh, Lord.